Hello, I am Benji. I am the first member of the jury.
Okay, hi, I'm Tawni. I am the second juror.
Hi, I'm Sam, and I am juror number three.
Hi, my name is Cade, and I'm the fourth juror.
Hi, I'm Erin, and I am the fifth juror.
Hi, I'm Jordyn. I'm the sixth juror.
Hi, I'm Gabby, and I'm the seventh juror.
Hi, I'm Bryant, and I am the last juror.
My time in Ponderosa has been interesting. I feel like there was kind of a big shift in the game after I got voted out. So it was really interesting to hear from a lot of other people, kind of how that shook out. But it's also interesting from a juror perspective because I didn't see a whole lot of that phase of the game.
So Ponderosa's been great. Like I think it helped the fact that I kind of went out in a way that was kind of on my own terms. So since I didn't actually get voted out, I had no one to be upset with other than myself for causing rocks, for being annoyed at everyone that was left in the game at that point. Well, most of them. But I think it really just helped that I just basically went out on my own terms.
Yeah, so Ponderosa's been an interesting experience. Second time playing, but first time on the jury. So that's been a fun experience to see the other side. I definitely got to the jury sooner than maybe I would have liked, but you hit a wall, and after you get a good night's sleep, you're like, wow, these are all the things I should have done. So I mean, the vibes have been pretty good in Ponderosa. We've made it a fun time. We've all been given nicknames. So I think because of playing in the Bank, I've been the treasurer of Ponderosa. We've all got different nicknames. So it's been fun as more people have gotten in because I went out so early in the merge to be able to piece things together and what can people bring to us to shed light. And I also think it's been pretty good. I think we've all had our opinions about things, but there hasn't really been, any like negative, like shit talking or anything towards like anyone else. I think we've all been able to share our opinions, but not have it be in a way where we're trying to sway each other one way or the other. And I think we've all come in like knowing that we've all made mistakes. We probably have all like wronged each other like at one point, but I don't think anyone's taking it personally. So it's been nice to at least been able to connect and at least joke, around if you stab someone in the back or they did the same thing to you, or seeing, like with Cade when he stabbed me in the back and then seeing him join me the next round was kind of karma, but no hard feelings.
I enjoyed my time in Ponderosa because I've been able to think about the game a lot less. I'm still thinking about it. When I first joined, I read every single message that was sent before I joined, and I saw I got a lot of love, so that made me feel good, boost my ego a little bit. But yeah, I'm enjoying Ponderosa. I like seeing who's gonna come in because I haven't always been able to make tribals. So seeing who comes in like when they get added, I'm like, oh my god, okay. And basically everybody that I was rooting for to win has gone out after me.
Ponderosa's honestly been great. It's a great vibe. I think everybody in there is kind of like, I've been on a lot of juries, and this doesn't seem to be like an egotistical jury, which I really appreciate. People are kind of like actually looking at the games of the people that are left, which is really good. Nobody is like saying like, oh, this was my game and like I'm bitter because I'm out. So that feels really good. But it feels great despite like obviously maybe being adversarial in the game with certain people. I think everybody in Ponderosa is like very good about the game was the game. We're not in it anymore. We can just kind of vibe and hang out and, crack jokes and talk about the games of the people that are remaining. So it's been really good and I think really constructive overall.
So my time in Ponderosa has been fun, I guess. If you have to get voted out of a game, at least you get to go and hang out with people and talk a little bit more openly about everything that's happening. So you get a little look behind the scenes as to what actually transpired versus what you think was happening. You can kind of let your own guard down a little bit too, where you're not having to cater or pander to people as much anymore. So it's been fun to hear. I mean, Yeah, as fun, I guess, as being voted out of a game can be.
I mean, the circumstances of me being voted out were kind of, you know, not very standard. I didn't get any votes thrown my way. So people were kind of like surprised to see me there. I think Cade sent a message, he'd missed tribal. Cade sent a message and was like, "Why is Gabby here?" Which I thought was really funny. Yeah, it's been good. It's nice to talk to people I haven't talked to in a while. I can talk to Tawni about Stardew Valley again. Love that product placement. Yeah, and Bryant coming in was great. I mean, it would be best if he wasn't in at all. You know, it would be best if he was still in the game. But it's nice to be able to talk to him again.
It was very interesting. I went straight from being voted out to being on a round table with everyone. So it was nice to be able to see everyone's face and to actually hear their voices. And I really liked everyone I played with. I definitely was trying to, I really have been trying to get as much information as possible about how people view the game from an outside perspective. Because there's still things I know I was lied to a bunch and I want to find out what the truths are so that I can make a good choice. But it's been just great reconnecting with everyone, whether I voted them out, which I guess I voted out most of them, or not. There was very little bitterness towards me, which I appreciate. And yeah, it was really nice actually to see everyone and get their thoughts on the game. So.
I mean, I'm the mayor of Ponderosa. You gotta have that. What was it? We were all giving each other little nicknames. I think that was fun. Try to cultivate a good environment because, we're here to have a good time. That's the important time. That's the important thing.
I think the nickname thing is really cute. Because I feel like I've been just having played before, having been in like any type of situation, like any placement on the jury, like they're especially like getting voted out early on. It's just kind of like you feel left out a little bit. And so I really like that Benji kind of went ahead and did like, I'm Mayor Benji, and then like I'm Vice Mayor Tawni, and going on with, Erin with the Department of HR, and just like it's cute, it's fun, and I feel like it helps keep the jury a little bit more lighthearted than what I know juries can be. So I just think it's cute and fun, and I like it.
So the nicknames, so I think, Benji started by being mayor, and then Tawni came in as a second, became vice mayor, and then I came in and was like, what's my nickname? And Benji said the treasurer, because I was just in the bank, and so it was around the episode where I spent the entire time in the vault, so that was pretty fitting. Though I don't think anyone wants me to be their treasurer because my math skills, if you've seen all of these math challenges, were abysmal. So, but I'll take it. And then let's see, Jordyn became, I think, Surgeon General because of her leg. Bryant, when he got added last night, was VP of Security because he saved Gabby from that first vote. Cade is Secretary of Transportation because he was always talking to us from his truck. Gabby became the VP of Communications because she wasn't talking to a lot of us. And it was hard to get her on calls and things. So who am I missing? Was that everyone? So yeah, I mean the games have been fun. And then Erin was director of HR. So I think that's been pretty much everyone. So it's been pretty clever. It's been pretty fun. But it's like in the group chat, like you can't see like your own nickname, but it's just funny like seeing like Secretary of Transportation Cade has sent a message. So it's been a fun little group chat, and it's been fun that we've been able to talk about things just even like outside of the game, and so it's been nice at least having that going for us.
Yeah, so when I joined Ponderosa, I don't think everybody had nicknames. I think it was just Benji, and then we were like, we should give everybody nicknames. And so Mayor Benji, because he's the mayor of Ponderosa, Vice Mayor which is kind of lame. Sorry, Tawni. And then Sam's, I don't remember Sam's, but mine is I think director of transportation because I'm always in my fucking truck, like literally like right now. And I really like Jordyn's director of surgery or something because she had surgery. I thought that was funny.
I'm the director of HR, which I love. I think it's so funny to like come into a Ponderosa where there's like it feels like a community. Like I've been on ones where it's like, oh, we dress up for like different themes every tribal or like things like that. But like I love the nicknames. We are a governing party and we are going to be, making a governing decision at the end of today. So I think it's very exciting. I think being head of HR is great. Mayor Benji anointed me, and Vice Mayor Tawni, which I appreciate. I feel like all of the roles kind of fit pretty well. I do think, I know Cade is like the director of transportation. I feel like I could have also been that because I was everywhere during this game. But no, I think director of HR is great. I think it means, people can feel comfortable coming to me about their issues. And I hope that that's the case. And I literally was the head of HR for a season of Survivor Michigan. So it fits pretty well. But no, I think it's so funny. I love it really ups the Ponderosa vibe and morale, which is really fun.
Yeah, so I was given the nickname of, I think originally it was like director of medical something. And it just didn't have a great ring to it. So I did ask to be promoted to general surgeon. What is the surgeon general? That's what it is. I asked to be promoted. So I did get my promotion that I asked for. So I just thought it sounded a little bit better and a little more official. And, if I can get a leg up, I'll take a leg up, even if it's in Ponderosa. So luckily the mayor, Benji, allowed it. I think everyone's is pretty funny. I don't get Erin's. I don't know why she's HR, I guess, but like she was fighting with people, so maybe that's it. I think Bryant being head of security is very funny, and I think Gabby being head of communications is also very funny. So no, so far they've done a pretty good job.
Yeah, director of communications it's kind of funny. I haven't communicated as much as other people in the game probably. So maybe that's a little bit of a dig. I'm fine with it. I think the nicknames are super cute. I like it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I have no idea why I'm director of security, but I'll take it. It's funny. I'm hoping that is a good thing. I love that Gabby's is director of communications because that's very funny considering she wasn't very communicative with most people. Mayor Benji makes sense. I have to pull up the other ones real quick. Director of HR is for Erin is just so funny because she was definitely at the biggest war of the game between players. Secretary of Transportation with Cade, I don't understand that, but it's sure. Maybe he likes trains, or I don't know. I'm sure it has something to do with the game, but it's very funny. I very, very much appreciate getting a nickname. So.
Going into Final Tribal, I'm rooting for Bryant still. My vote's not particularly open, but it's because the other Bens kind of actively lost my vote with the way that they treated me the round that I left. All three of these people voted me out, and that's fine. Hath just kind of targeted me out of nowhere, which is whatever for their game. Katz, we kind of had a different pathway. Katz and I talked a lot the round that we played together in the pre-merge and the round that I left. I probably spent like 3 hours on call with Katz total those rounds, probably more than anybody else in the game. And the relationship that we had was built a lot on the like mutual friends we had, other games that we've played of like the same series. And it was very much like I want to play this game with you because I enjoy you as a person, and I haven't had that experience that much yet this game. And I was like, listen, I feel like us working together, that's something that we can work well. And Katz made a big show of like Hath is throwing out your name. I'm gonna shut it down. Like we're gonna work together. It's gonna be great. And then like I was going home the entire time, and that felt unnecessary to me. I don't particularly enjoy that. And Katz like pinky promised that he wasn't gonna vote for me. Said like he wanted me here because he wants to work with me, and like I was going home the entire time, and it just makes me feel kind of icky the way that I went out. It is what it is. Katz played a good game, I think on paper, but also part of winning is making people want you to win. And I feel like that's a weakness of his game. Ryan, I feel, was maybe a little bit more passive than the other two, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Ryan was in a good position throughout most of the game. And I think a lot of that was intentional. He had a lot of choices on where to go, and he picked the right ones to get him to the end in a good position with some agency. You know, that's a game I respect, and he did not make as many enemies as the other two throughout the way. So, you know, if that's what it is to get him in the win, that's what it is. I'm hoping that he has a good tribal showing tonight, but I am interested to see how the performances go.
It is very hard for me to want to vote for any of them. So essentially kind of like what my thought process right now is going through is Ryan, even though like I was on a starting tribe with Ryan, I did not really care for him at all, which sounds kind of mean, but like as a player, I just did not vibe. Like I don't know if it's just the young energy that I could not match with or what, but even hearing more so of what people that actually did work with Ryan say, like I just know, like there's going to have to be like a really big fight for Ryan. Like he's gonna have to fight for himself. And like with the other two, Hathaway, turns out I did not know as much as like even as half as what I thought I did, with what they were doing, what they were saying, which is fine. But the things that they did are things that I don't appreciate for game. And with Katz, hearing what Erin had to say when we did our little roundtable, that made me upset for her, which I probably don't need to be, but I am. And just it's just like the gameplay that I'm not a fan of. And like I feel like I have like 3 people sitting in front of me that I'm like, I just don't like how either or any of them played, or I don't know how they played. And it just makes things more difficult. I just wish we had a better final 3, but it is what it is.
I might be a little biased, but I'm definitely rooting for Katz, one of the last diva standing in the game. We started the game together, and we were always on Loser Speech together, so I spent the most time with him, and I trusted him the most, and so I am rooting for Katz. I have more question marks about their game, and I'm more indifferent about them. I want to keep an open mind. But I just thought Half was hard to trust and hard to gauge. And then I think Ryan may have the hardest time earning my vote. I just didn't think anything from all of our conversations. I just think he lied to me the most and just didn't put a lot of time and effort in our relationship. But I want to keep an open mind. But at this point, I am sticking true to the divas and true to Vekoma strong. And so, but Kat sometimes can put his foot in his mouth sometimes at tribal. And so there is a very good possibility where he may really mess up this part of the game at final tribal. So we'll see how well he can do. But at this point, I'm pulling for a Katz win.
Oh my God, who am I rooting for? I wouldn't say I'm rooting for Ryan, but just because I'm rooting for someone does not mean they have my vote. Because I think Katz can have a very good argument against Ryan if he knows what to say. I don't know what he should say, but there is an argument to be had because none of them played perfect games. Hath most likely will not be getting my vote, but between Ryan and Katz, they both. I think it's really going to depend on their final tribal council speeches and how they answer questions. Like if they own up to their game, own up to their mistakes, that's how you're going to get my vote. Like don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me how you actually played. Tell me, like, be honest about everything that happened, and just don't lie. Don't lie.
I don't think it's any secret. I am rooting for Ryan. It was just like, I don't even think I realized how much I like love that kid until we jumped on for the Final Four challenge. And I literally just like saw him and I could not stop smiling. I was like, he's such a good kid. And I think as long as he gives himself the credit that he deserves, because he played a very threat management kind of game, and in doing so kind of belittled himself a lot and like talked himself down a lot and tried to convince people that he wasn't a threat. So now is the time where he has to show people, actually, I was a threat this whole time. You're dumb for not realizing it. So I think his big thing that he has to do is like a full 180, because I think this is a very individual minded jury where everybody is making their own decision, and while we are having an open discussion about the finalists and like maybe bringing things up that people hadn't seen before, nobody is going to base their vote off of the vote of anybody else on the jury. Nobody is looking at that, I don't think. So I think as long as Ryan presents himself well and is strong about what he did and makes sure that everything he says that everything he did was intentional and is able to prove that, I think he's going to be in a very good spot. But I'm definitely rooting for him. I said this at the round table, but like he came into this game a big fan of me, and I'm coming out of this game a big fan of him. So yeah.
Yeah, going into Final Tribal Council, I genuinely have no idea what's going on. Like, I don't know what question I'm going to ask. I don't know what I want to hear. I literally don't want to vote for anyone. I'm very bitter. I didn't think I would still be bitter like a whole week after this. Like, it's not for $1 million. You're fine. But apparently, I'm just very competitive. So I don't love the idea of voting for anyone. I think right now I'm leaning towards maybe voting Katz just because he didn't blatantly lie to my face that I know about. And that apparently means a lot to me. I'm learning a lot about myself through this process. But we'll see. I mean, I'm a very logical person normally, so I'd like to think I can hear things and like maybe take in what they're saying and come out the other end with a different opinion. But also, what I was hearing in our roundtable last night, nothing changed my opinion of anybody's game. So it seems like I had it pretty clocked. So right now, I guess I'm leaning towards Katz. We'll see.
I honestly am not leaning one way or the other. So I think it's really anyone's game tonight. Really how they answer the questions is probably gonna have me decide.
Who am I rooting for? That's a good question, because I think all three of them have a lot to prove. I would say right now, probably Katz. I think just mostly because I had the best like personal relationship with Katz. And I see Katz's game more, and all the moves that Katz made seem to make the most sense, even if they didn't work out most of the time. Ryan is just all over the place, and like I really hope Ryan has some self-awareness in this final tribal, because from my perspective in the game, there wasn't much of that. And I'm not a person to like reward lying to the bitter end. And Hath is Hath. I don't know. We'll see.
This game was, I think, a little rough for me. I had a really good time. I will sing DCP's praises the entire time. The challenge design, the twist design, all of it is so good. I feel like I just kind of had a bit of a rough draw this game, which happens. And hey, it is what it is. But I'm so glad I got to play, and I'd highly recommend it to anybody.
This has probably been one of the best orgs I have ever played. When it comes to the people on production, when it comes to the actual production of things, when it comes to like the competitions and like even just the people that were casted. This is just overall one of the best productions I have ever been a part of. And like I just don't like, there's not like enough words that I can say, or like I can't find like the words to like literally say how much I appreciate every single person on this production team and just how much time and effort and energy that everyone has put into this. Because like I think I have like just having done this for so long and having like my own game and being able to see exactly how, like, because I know how much time and energy it takes for me to do this, and it just makes me appreciate so much more how much I know that every single person in production has put into this game. It's literally fantastic. There's not enough synonyms of like the word good to describe this game, honestly. From like the bottom of my heart. It's cold and dry and brittle, but there is some warmth in it for being able to appreciate a game like this.
I had a lot of fun in the game. Just coming off of the mini, when the long game came up, I was like, I want to have this experience. I know what the mini's like, but I want to know what the long game is like. So I had a lot of fun. I went from the mini where maybe I held back too much, and then in this one, that's just like with the twist and everything, had to play a much stronger, much more out front game. And I think going from like the mini where it was hard to like build connections, just kind of the way it shook out for me and how fast the game played, to this where we had a little bit more time. I just enjoyed talking and getting to know people. I was like, wow, what do you mean you can actually like talk to someone and process through things, and you're not just like stressed out 5 minutes before a trial not knowing what's going on. So I've enjoyed getting to know everyone, and this long game format has definitely been brutal. Definitely probably maybe should have taken some more days off at work. But it was a lot to manage, and definitely two very different experiences from the mini to the long game. But overall, I've had a really great experience, and it's just been fun being on the jury and seeing a different side and learning the mechanics of what all it takes to be successful in a long game. So I definitely made some mistakes. It definitely was not a perfect game, but I had fun, and that's really all I wanted to do.
Oh my God, I loved this game. I haven't played a game in a very long time. And it's gonna get a little personal right now, but when I first started this game, I was very, very deep in my grief with my sister. And so this has given me like an opportunity to think about something else constantly rather than my sister. So I'm very appreciative and grateful for this experience.
It was incredible, genuinely incredible. I think this was one of the like best put together games I've ever played. It was a fantastic cast. Like the fact that I had such like I obviously had a roller coaster of a time in the game, but the fact that every up and down and like every friend, every enemy, still I'm at the end of the day, I'm like, this is still a good person. I think is huge. I think casting was incredible. This was such a cracked group of people in the best way possible. And just, yeah, the game in general, it just flowed super well. It was super fun and easy to keep up with. And it never felt like a chore, which like sometimes when you're playing a long game, it can feel like a chore. Like, oh, I have to talk to these people. I have to do this. But it's like every step of the way, I was like, oh, I'm excited to do this. And it was just, yeah, it was super fun. Yeah, one of the best games I've played for sure.
Overall, I had a good time. I'm very grateful for this because I was going crazy. being locked in my parents' house for 8 weeks with nothing to do. So it worked out perfectly. And isn't that serendipitous? The day I go back to work, I get voted out. So like life seems to work out perfectly for me. But this was a lot of fun. I thought for sure I would be a lot more emotionally exhausted than I ended up being. But like the minis is a full day of just like exhaustion the entire time. And this is like, at least your exhaustion is like spread out a little bit. And I made some good friends. And then I made some enemies and some people that I will maybe never forgive in my entire life. And I know I'm being dramatic, but I've also learned that I would suck on Real Survivor due to this game because I take everything very personally. I believe everything that everybody is saying. And I shook in every tribal council because voting someone out is hard. So to live with someone and have to vote them out, I could not actually do it. I think I would be vomiting all the time. And then like to be hangry on top of it and to be sleep deprived, I would be the villain. Like I 100% would be the villain on a Real Survivor game. I would lose it day 2. I'd be like, I hate you. So I've learned a lot. I had a good time. It was fun. I think I'll have to take a year or 2 off and then maybe revisit the idea of doing it when I forget how exhausting this is. And that's kind of how this came about. I forgot how exhausting the mini was. And then I said, let's just make it 30 days. So
It was great. I really liked this. It was so fun to be invited to it. I didn't come in expecting to make it very far, honestly. Yeah, I made it way farther than I thought, and the challenges were all really fun. I was really bad at most of them, but it was an enlightening experience. I've gotten a lot better at flipping things. Yeah, good skill to have. Yeah, I would definitely play again. I think it was great.
Overall, coming through it on the other end, such a fun, amazing experience. Whenever I do a survivor thing, I always have to be a host with my friends because they've never played or watched, and I have to guide them through everything. So it was nice actually being able to get to play and to try out strategy. This was incredibly stressful at times. My heart was racing constantly. I work in digital marketing, but I've been on Facebook more than I ever have. And it was very stressful, but the high you get when a move works out, like clears it all away for the next round. But from start to finish, I was just so impressed with the whole production, and everything, and all the players and everyone behind the scenes. And it was just a great experience where if I'd been asked probably, at the merge, I would be like, I'm never going to play one of these ever again. But now I would 100% play again. So yeah, it was great. I loved it.